Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back into my channel. So in this lab, um we're going to create a virtual machine, a VM in Azure, and then we're going to SSH into it. So if you look here in the Microsoft web page, you'll see it says that how to use SSH keys with Windows on Azure. So there go the overview. So you could always come into this website yourself because this is the best way to learn from if you wanna, be savvy into the Azure cloud platform. So this article just being updated. It says article 0308 and 2023. So it's about a couple days ago. Um, I would say that's about 6 days ago. So it said this article is for Windows Azure who wants to create and use secure shell, which is SSH key to connect Linux virtual machine VM in Azure. You can also generate and store SSH keys in the Azure portal to use when creating VM in portal. So to use in marks or whatever. So all these over here are SSH and keys and stuff. So it's SSH keys is encrypted connection protocol, as you know already. So there go all the steps and things. It's kind of like giving you connect to your VM or do this. So these are all the things that you may consider doing. Um, so, but what we're concerned here, by the way, let me just go ahead here and just erase those two just to avoid confusion as I'm doing this lab today. So as we concern here, let's just go ahead and create this into Azure. So first and foremost, you could see here, let's say for instance, if we go into this, like if we go here, we could like you hit like virtual machine, and then say for instance, like you go here and hit like create. Now, now you see there's like four options, like Azure virtual machine. It says create a virtual machine hosted by Azure. It says Azure virtual machine with preset configuration. It says create a virtual machine with preset configuration. This is the predetermined configuration. So like if you want the server type, if you want it to be highly available or stuff like that. Now, the ARC is allows you to manage like non-Azure server. So like anything that you want to be managed from like non-Azure resources and stuff like that. Now, the Azure VMware solution is basically a VMware environment, like where you would want to create like a VMware cluster into your infrastructure. Now, us, we're gonna create a VM machine, so we're gonna hit that. Now, I already have a subscription, which is Azure subscription 1. Let's say if I create a new resource group, I call this like RG1. This one is already taken, so let's call it Azure 01. And then our VM name, let's just call it AZ VM1. And let's say we created in USS. Now the availability zone, let's say 100%. we could just leave it as default as availability zone is here. Now it's asking for like availability zone. So we can leave it in zone 1. We could leave it as a security type standard, not gonna make it more complicated. Now for the image, we're gonna just leave it as Ubuntu server 2004 TLS. Now VM architecture, we'll leave it here. Okay. For security username, we're gonna leave it like this. For SSH public key, we're gonna leave it like this. Now for the keypad, we're gonna leave it like this. This is just a generic. We're not gonna make a lot of changes though. Now for this, like OS disk and encryption host and stuff like that. So we're not gonna make a lot of change in this. We might as well just leave it as generic as it is. Now let's hit next. Now to get to the virtual network, if you want to, you could create a virtual network, but as for these lab purposes, there's no reason for that. So we might as well just leave it as default. But we could have put it in the like in our region, like RG1, and we're gonna leave the default subnet mask, public IP. Let's just leave everything as default because this is just to create this lab. And delete public IP, Nick, when this is there. So yep. All right, so it asks here like load balancing option. So none, Azure load balancer, support all TCP and UDP network traffic, port forwarding, and outbound flows and stuff. So we don't need these. So application gateway, this is a type of load balancer for, HTTP and HTTPS, which is port um, layer 7. Just if you want backward, yeah, layer 7. But if you want to start it from up to bottom, so it'll be on layer 1. So they have network load balancer, they have application load balancer. As you know, application load balancer is for intelligence, and network load balancer is for speed. So I hope you know that already. So let's just click next. Now, the management page, you might just as well just leave it like that. So if you want to, you could select like Azure login with rollback, which is role-based access control, which you might get into later on if you just, if you follow along with me with this channel. So, so it says guest OS update. So all of that. So I might just leave it like this. So let me click next. Okay, so now it says what? Configure monitoring option for your VM. So alert, enable recommended alert rules and stuff. So diagnostics, boot diagnostic. So if you want, you could always select like any features and plan that match your needs. But as for me, I might just go ahead and leave it like this. Now let's hit next. Now in the advanced, if you want to, you could always says custom data and cloud initialize. So say paste, I'll pass a cloud init script. That's if you want to write some script here. So we don't need that. VM application contains application files that are securely and reliably downloaded on your VM after deployment, in addition to the application files. Okay, so I don't need that either. So let me just go ahead and scroll. So they are host, capacity, reservation, and all of that. So we can get into these later, get into more details. So let's go on tag. So when I reach on the tag, so if I want to, I can give it a tag name, let's say name, and say for instance, I put it on the AZV CM1, and I'll just leave the rest of it as default. So let's click next. Now it's gonna go ahead and create this this VM for me. Just keep in mind that you see here, it says that the subscription credit apply is 0.0104. So just for the lab purposes, I create this VM, but if you don't want to get charged, so you might as well just you might as well just not um you might as well just not delete this afterwards. So let's go scroll. So let's hit create. Now it asks to generate the new key pair. So please make sure that you download this because you're going to need this in order for you to log in, to remote SSH into your machine. So you can see here it says that the deployment is in progress. So let's just wait a little bit, and as soon as it come up, we're going to start making our remote login with SSH. So all right, guys, so just a second, please. It might take a little bit of time, but it will get there. Okay, so you could go to resources either from here or there. So let me just hit it here. All right, so there we go. Our virtual machine is being created. Bang. So now if you want to SSH into this machine, all you gotta do is just say here, you gotta pull up putty, say putty. Now you gotta use putty generator. Now on putty generator, as it pull up, you wanna click on load. You're gonna go on download, but then you gotta change this to all file so you can see the downloaded um, PM file that's downloaded. So you gotta click open, right? So it has to successfully import the foreign key. I'll hit OK. Now, since it's already there, let me hit save. You like to save? I'll say yes. Now, let me just call that SSH. Let me call it, let's say I call that VM dash SSH, and I can save this on the download folder, right? And I hit save again. And then, oh, just cancel. Okay, guys, so um, now I need to pull up putty. So let's go ahead and type putty. So now this time you don't need putty generator, you need putty, the actual putty configuration itself. All right, so what you should do here, let's say you copy the IP address, the public IP address of your VM, because you're gonna need that so you can remote login with SSH. Now it says that the port number is 22, which is the port number for SSH, so it's on SSH here. Now here's what tricky with this new configuration putty. So once you get there, you gotta go to SSH just to authenticate your key. So you hit, see, back in the day, if you hit that down here, you will get a folder that will giving you the possibility to hit like open so you can load your keys. But now it doesn't work like that. So inside of this little X, you gotta hit that again, and then you hit credential, then you hit browse. I mean, they say like, yeah, you hit browse, and then they're going to keep, the PPK file. So you got to upload that. And now you're going to log into your machine successfully if everything works okay. So you got to say accept. I think the username should be Azure user. Let's see. Up. Okay. So we log into this machine. Yeah. Now the remote server that we just created with Azure. The proof of that is, let's say this is a window machine, right? So let's say you say host name minus L. So you see, it says that, so the authentication, so username, login as user, as Azure user authenticating with public key imported. Welcome to the Ubuntu Linux documentation and everything, stuff like that. So if you want, you can check out different little command with with Linux. So ls, right? Let's say you say ls minus L. So it says total is 0. That's like you can use the long listing option ls minus 2 to see the detail like file size, permission, modification, modified time and stuff like that. So let's say you say cd or pw, say pwd. So there go the home, and the user is Azure user, right? So if you want to, you could change directory, you could cat file name, whatever that you want to do with whatever command that you can use. You could make directory, you could copy, you could like cat. So again, so this lab was to create a VM and then use the VM, use PuTTY to SSH into the VM. So they go the VM. Now, again, you could always go on, you could always go on Microsoft website and just follow the steps that you need. If you want to if you want to, uh, if you want to master like certain things in Azure, if your goal is to become an Azure, um, if you want to become like uh, a cloud engineer or cloud architect. So this little thing here and there, it's good to know them because never know what project that they might put you in. Again, thank you so very much for following and stay tuned for more interesting lab. Thank you. I'll see you in the next lab. Bye-bye.